Now that you had a general introduction into Fractal Video Shufflr, let's go a little deeper. Once you become a pro or platinum member, you'll see now on your homepage you have a lot of different cards. It is not that much different from the free version, except that there are a lot more features. You'll notice that the create area is relatively the same, but there's a lot of new components here that you can play around with. For starters, you have the remove audio, which of course does exactly what you think it does. It removes the audio from every clip that you added in. You also have the auto detect cuts, which will detect different cuts in the clip that you added. And instead of randomly shuffling, it'll instead just go in order and it'll just split by cuts. And then of course you can review everything before you merge. Moving this toggle changes the sections, and you can change the minimum and maximum clip. We'll go over what the best recommendation is for these later. You also have the added ability to drag and drop. Again, I'm just going over what's different from the free version now to the pro, as well as being able to add sections. So now if you want to add a section, that way you can separate your files. You can do that here. We're not going to go too much into that since we've already gone through that in the introduction. Let's scroll down, and before we do that, you have the previous projects over here, and now the previous projects section is much larger, and you have extra buttons to play around with here. If we scroll down, we have the ability to make new scripts now. So if you want to create a script, you can now do that in the pro version. It'll save it here, and then you can view that script once you done with that. You can edit that script at any time and copy the script. You can delete those as well and confirm that delete. Next, we have the audio here right next to our scripts. So if we want to add any background music or any voiceover to our mixed, shuffled and merged video here, we can do that right here. You also have the ability to generate voiceovers once you open up the script here. So there's no script there, so it's not showing that. But once you add a 11 Labs key and sync your voices, then you'll be able to create a voiceover for any script in this list. It's kind of the audio section. You can add multiple background music pieces and drag to reorder. It will loop those, so that is nice. Going down, we have the script shuffler here. Here you can easily create a new script. This is basically our script generation. You could paste this transcript in here, an idea, bulleted list, and maybe just your entire thoughts just into this box. For example, we'll just do a test video, and you click shuffle script. It'll load in your script, and then from here you'll decide whether you want to continue, which is what you want to do to start, and you can also choose to do automatic continues, and we'll go into this later in the course. But this generally just creates a script for you, and then you can save it, and once you press save, it'll show up in the script here. Restarting will reset that for you. And that is the pro features for the homepage. Very quick, very simple. Just a few items to streamline your process of working on YouTube. Going into the additional pro features, we have the Fractal Niche Finder. And this tool is extremely helpful for you if you want to find new ideas, if you want to get inspired, if you want to store ideas and save any video ideas that you have. Everything that is related to idea generation, idea storage, and anything to that nature will happen right here in the Niche Finder. So when you open the Niche Finder, the first thing you'll see is the idea browser. And what you'll notice is something very familiar is the YouTube homepage. So here you'll be able to be on YouTube, which is going to be the best place for you to find ideas. There is no better place to understand what people on YouTube are interested in other than right here on the YouTube homepage. So we're going to have this right here front and center in our niche finder forever, and you'll be able to use this niche finder to come up with all kinds of ideas and find new things, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So let's say that we have a particular niche. I can't think of one right now, so I'm just going to do one off the top of my head, and we'll just say movie recaps. And you can sign into this if you want. I have signed into it on my other computer, and I just signed into my accounts, and I also use it to upload. So you can use the niche finder to upload your videos as well, so you can do everything within Fractal Video Shufflr. But yeah, let's see if we can find something, or some channels or some videos or something just off the top of the head, just right now, opened up fresh off the cuff. So once you're inside the idea finder, there's a few things you could do. You can search for channels. If you have a channel name that you just maybe saw on your TV, you can search it here and get to it quickly. You can refresh the page and it'll just refresh whatever page you're on. You can go to features here, and this will show you a few features that we have. So we have the blackout feature that will let you black out any video on the page that is under a certain amount of views. You can set that here. We have the focus sidebar, which is highly recommended to have on. It will pull videos in from whatever you're looking at on YouTube, and then it'll let you also filter those based off of the number of views, so you could quickly shuffle through every video for whatever niche you're looking into. And then we have the channel save. So when we're trying to find channels that have good videos that we like, we could save those for later and come back every day to see what kind of videos they have. So these, I would recommend having all three of these enabled, and then go ahead and click save. You'll see your interface change a little bit. So here on the right, we have the focus sidebar, which is that middle feature we just turned on. Any video that has 30,000 views or more, and it's been 7 days or less, it'll have a fire icon. So as you can see, this has 40,000 views. It's been 2 days. This is a really hot video in the movie recap. So you already know I'm about to be on that, and that's just all I did was open up the focus sidebar, and I immediately found something inside of this niche for me to do. So honestly, I'm going to add that to my thumbnail space, and this add to thumbnail space is a platinum feature, so we'll be going into that later. But for now, we're going to add that to our thumbnail space. And let's see, are there any others? This one's also pretty hot. I'm going to save that one as well. And you can also change the size of this to be bigger, so you can see the thumbnails a lot better, and also see a lot of this text better. So let's see what else we have. We have this one. This is another hot one. We're going to add that to the space, and that looks to be good for now. So yeah, let's also look at what these channels are. So if you click on any of the links in this area, oh, that's super loud. If you click on any of the links, it'll go straight to the video. You can change the focus size here, and honestly, now that we have some videos found, we're gonna take the focus bar off, and we're just gonna try to find a few channels now. So movie recaps looks great for a movie recap channel, so we're gonna add that to our list over here to the left, and we're looking pretty good. So let's go ahead and see if we can find any other videos in this niche. So we're gonna go to some of their most popular videos, and we're gonna look for some other hot videos in this niche. So I'm gonna turn back on my focus bar, and we're gonna scroll through pages that are videos that are on this page. So let's see if we can find anybody else. We have this Only One Woman and Stuff on Earth. This is a movie. I don't know. It looks like it's a movie. Let's go to it. Let's see. it is a movie. It's movie recap. So is this who we were just on? Yeah, it's who we were just on. We got a lot of good stuff. But yeah, let's go back to the video we were just on, and see if we can't find. Gonna scroll to refresh these videos. See if we can't find someone that isn't that channel. Let's see. Like a lot of these are all that channel. Oh, here is one. 97 subscribers, 12,000 views. This isn't bad at all. Movie film recap. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to this channel. They don't really seem to have any hits, but they are uploading every day. So if I was logged in, I would subscribe, and also add them to my list. And then if you go to YouTube now, every time you open up your YouTube, you'll start seeing competitors just naturally. And so now you can use the focus sidebar here to always be able to find your competitors. So it looks like the film cut is another competitor that we can make sure that we save. 4,000 views. Yep, they got a couple hits. We can see those here. Yeah, and it just makes this much faster. I'd copy that name, add that here, and you can also save the channel here. I forgot to say that, and it'll add it to the list. And so that's the idea browser, and that's just one part of the niche finder that you can use to really help yourself if you need to find ideas. So the next thing that we have is the top outliers, and this is essentially the way that you can find new niches that have never been done before, or maybe you want to find a niche that is popping that you don't know of. So you can see there's plenty of channels already here, and you can scroll through all of the channels that we already have, and this will help you find different categories and different channel types and what type of views they're getting. So this will help you be able to understand the niche before you get into it, and you'll be able to do research and truly understand if that's worth spending your time and effort into. Is that niche getting the type of views? But you can search for anything here, and it'll be added into the database, and you can then filter the database by anything, and then this update. This will have a list of anything that was just added. So if you did do a search, you can come in here to see something that was just added, and it'll show you exactly what was added. We have the viral on small, which does a search for all of the channels that are doing really hot, but they are only doing shorts. So if you're a shorts person and you really want to find shorts videos, shorts channels, this is a good way to come in and find good channels that have no long form, but they are doing really big numbers on shorts. Real time is very similar to the added recently, but it doesn't have any type of filters. Just added what's literally what was added recently, regardless of any types of filters. AI Rex will use our AI recommendations to search for some of the best and more, let's say, unique type of channels that are monetized and in our system. Trending keywords will show you what's being trended, and then one of the tabs you'll probably like the most is the top videos by channels. This will show you all of the top videos for the channels that we are currently storing in our top outliers. So here you can easily see what type of thumbnails are winning, what type of thumbnails are getting the most type of views, and you can also see what type of thumbnails are and what type of videos are not winning. And of course, clicking on anything will open it up in the idea browser for you to further explore that idea. But yeah, the top videos by channels is pretty good. You can scroll through here and you can see as much as you like. Just continue to load more channels here at the bottom. And you can again understand the different type of thumbnails that are winning, the thumbnails that are losing here. And they actually got a winner with that one. You can see that they tested it out, and this is the one that won out. It's pretty interesting. And so yeah, you can also see different type of ideas that are winning. Brain rot seems to be winning really well there. And just continue to scroll through until you find something that you want to try. So that's the top videos by channel. And lastly, we have the thumbnail gallery, and this is also a little similar to the top videos, but it lets you scroll through all of the thumbnails in our gallery, and you can really get inspired and understand what type of thumbnails really are popular, which ones are being repeated, which ones you think you want to recreate, and you can click on it to make that bigger so you can understand what really pops about these thumbnails. So let's wrap it up by jumping into the next features, which is showing you how this entire workflow works. So let's say we have an idea. We've already saved our channels. We've gone through everything that we want to go through, and we're ready to make a video. So let's go ahead and just turn off these features. We don't really need them right now. Let's close that because we're going to come back in here to upload our video. And so for now, what I'm going to do is let's open up the thumbnail space. And so if you already have like platinum, then you'll have an access to this area. But if you do not have the platinum subscription, then you will not have access to this area. But this is where any idea that you find in the idea browser, you can save it here. You can store and search and keep track of different tags. So here we know that this is going to be our movie recaps, and I like to do one-word tags, so we're going to do movies. I'm going to add all that to movies, and do have to refresh this tab, but here you can start filtering it out. And of course, if you had different categories, you can store different type of niches in here, but we're sticking to movies for now. And now we got our movies and we want to come up with a video, so let's do that. Let's get a video going. So if we want to, let's say they signed up for a study unaware. So this is one of the movie recaps we thought was good. So let's go ahead and copy that transcript. And let's close out the niche finder. So now we're back in the shuffler. And we're going to scroll down to the script shuffler. And we're going to go back and go ahead and get our session started. So we're going to paste that script that we just copied, and we're going to click shuffle script. Now it's loaded in, and I know that by default this usually takes about 7 or so tries. So I'm going to set this to 7. I'm going to click continue. And we're going to let that do what it does and listen to the song of my lovely cat, if you can hear him. It looks like we have 9 for this one, so 7 might have been too short, but we'll see. And so what this is going to do is it's just going to auto continue for you, so you can go do something else. You can, what we can do is if we open back up the niche finder while that's doing that, we can look at this thumbnail. Sorry, it's out of the thumbnail space. I should add a way to view the thumbnail easier. There it is. It's over here. Should add that here as well. But yeah, if you highlight over here, you can view the thumbnail easier. But yeah, so this is a very good thumbnail. So we're going to want to recreate that as good as possible. But going back to our script, let's see where we're at. This typically tells me what part of the script we're on, but it just gave me the names. Final countdown. That's what we're looking for. So we got one continue left. Mind games and manipulation. Yeah, I was really close. The final countdown. It's almost the last section. Bam. So yeah, let's get that conclusion written. So let's continue. And if you don't like any of these sections, you can reply instead of pressing the continue. And if you reply, you can type in a custom message and say like, give me that section again or something like that. So you can really work with the AI to get the type of script you want. I'm running through this right now to show as an example. All right, we got the entire script. Now that we're done, we can go ahead and click save, and bam, now we got that script. It'll add to our saved scripts. And what I like to do is I like to go in here, open the video that we're working on, and just make sure to get the name of it so I can know what I'm working on. Can close that back out and add the name for that on the script. So now you can view what ChatGPT just made for us. And if you're on the pro version, you do have to open up settings and enter your Open AI API key, and there's instructions in the docs on how to get that. If you're platinum, you don't need to worry about that at all. So if you open up view, you'll see what ChatGPT just wrote for us, and we can scroll through and we can see those different sections. And so from here, what I do is I'll just click edit, and we'll just start editing out everything that we don't need for our voiceover. So we'll take all of that out, the intro, and I'll look for these 3 hash signs or these 3 dotted lines, and that usually shows me exactly what part of the script that I need to remove. So yeah, just going through looking for those hashtags and removing those intersections between the different part of the script. And this is literally like the only manual part that is in this workflow at the moment. So yeah, I'll take out all these transitions. We'll click save and we'll view that again. And so now we have a very clean script for us to work with. And so now from here, what I'd do is I'd open this up and I'd click create transcript or create voiceover. I can enter my 11th labs key, but I don't think I want to run this script through it, just so I can save on those tokens. But yeah, if you add your key in here and then click view, you'll see the button to create the voiceover. Just make sure to click sync voices and select the voice that you want, test it to make sure that's actually the voice you want, and then click view and click that button. So I'm gonna skip the voiceover part for now, but if you did that, you'd create the voiceover, you'd have that ready, and you'd have the length of the video that you want. This is the important part of creating that voiceover. You're gonna want to know how long the video is. So once you do that, you can copy your script. And the last part, everything up to this point is just a pro feature. But this next feature is a platinum feature, and that's the create with AI. We're going to use that to get our source footage, so I don't have to go do that manually. I'm going to save us some time. So we're just going to click that to open up the events editor. And so the events editor is a pro feature, but the create with AI is a platinum only feature. So in order to get this, you have to be on platinum, but you can still use the events editor if you're on pro. So we got our video, we got our movie recap video. We're gonna paste that script that ChatGPT just wrote for us and that we copied. We're gonna select our category, which in this case is going to be movies, and we're going to not do unlimited because we don't really want to be here all day. If you click unlimited sources, then it'll take like a good 15 minutes, but it doesn't take that long. It'll download a good 15 to 20 videos. If you don't have that check, it'll do a lot less. And so this is the create with AI feature. If you want to create any type of video, any type of script, the entire purpose of this is to get you started, to get you something that is ready to work with as much as possible. This feature is going to improve over time and have a lot more functionality to make it essentially one click. It'll just be create, and then after that you can export. But for now, I'm going to show you how I would go about using the create with AI, and also how I would just go about using the events editor in general. So all you really have to do is open up the create with AI, and I just click create. If you want, you can add custom keywords, like things that you would want to see in the video. But essentially what I like to do is just click create, because it's gonna pull a bunch of different video sources from a bunch of different places. And so you don't really need to add any keywords. You can just click create with AI and create, and it'll take a good 5 to 10 minutes just for it to generate, but we'll just let that generate. All right, so we are doing the events editor tutorial now. So picking up from where we left off, we have our video. So let's go over the events editor from top to bottom, so it's not too overwhelming. At the top, we have the file here, and like any other program, if you click it, you'll have your different options that you can do to do things within this project. Of course, you can create with AI if you want to try to do that again. You can add a section, which will add a section here to the left. That's useful. You can also do that by pressing this plus icon. If you want to remove a section, just click remove here. Going back to the file, you can also add files, preview the plan, which will refresh what you see here. Anytime you press that, all of your clips will refresh. You can play in viewer, which will just start the video from the beginning in your viewer. You can open a project that you have already had saved. You can save a project, or you can close this project and it'll clear out everything here. And then here you can choose where all of your videos are downloaded, where all of your clips are downloaded, as well as the final output. Here you can also choose to open that final output location. And lastly, you can close the editor by clicking the last button here. You also know what plan you're on by this badge here. You also won't be able to use this button. Next, you have the help. So this is going to be very useful for you, especially beginning with the software. So open these up, read through each one to understand how to use the editor. I'm not going to go through that because that's kind of the purpose of this video, but definitely useful for you to learn every day and go back to. Here you can add the title of the video, and again, just going to go back to the idea browser in the niche finder and get that video title and paste that here for now so I know what I'm working on. And then here you have the layout control buttons. So from here you can toggle the left sidebar and close that out. You can toggle the preview and close it out, and then you'll only be seeing your planned clips. Or you could toggle the right and have that open. So you can do any variation of this, but if you have the left sidebar or the right sidebar closed, then the left sidebar will get a little bit bigger so you can see what we're working with. So I'm gonna go back to our default view for now. And then here at the very end, we have the status, and this will show you exactly what is going on at any time. If there's something active going on in the background, this will let you know. If it's green, nothing is happening. If it's not green, that means something is going on in the background. So you'll always know what's going on. Going back down from left to right, we have sections. So sections is similar to the home screen. So here where we have different sections, that's this area here in the events editor. So here you can see that we did the create with AI, so it automatically created us some sections. It automatically downloaded us some videos, and I haven't gone through them yet, so we haven't seen if they're relevant to the movie that we're making this video about. But for now, that's what we got. And I only put the video for 5 minutes, so it only created these few sections. And so yeah, we have the sections area, and then of course you can add new sections by pressing the plus button, and then you can remove those. You can also press the preview button here, and that will regenerate our planned clips down here at the bottom. So if you don't like the plan that it made, if you scroll through and you're like, this isn't what I want, you can just press this button to regenerate as many times as you need. Going down, for every section, there's more controls than on the main page. So here you can add a video like normal, but you can also add images in the events editor only. And you can also add YouTube videos. So let's say that you had a YouTube video URL that you wanted to add in, which I do. I want to add some videos in. So this video is about the killing room. So I'm going to add the trailer in. So I'm going to add, sorry, I clicked outside of the box there. So yeah, I want to add I want to make sure that's the right URL. Yeah, let's see. Add the box, or add the killing room trailer. So yeah, if you click the plus YouTube, you can just paste that URL in and download that video. Nice. So now I have the trailer for this movie in here ready to be mixed in. So I'm gonna press that again. I'm actually gonna remove whatever this is. It looks like it's like a it's like The Sims. So yeah, I'm gonna remove that one and regenerate again. But yeah, and I think I'm also gonna grab maybe another video about the killing room. Yeah, this one will do. And so yeah, if you have any extra videos that you want to add outside of what the AI did, that's fine. Just add those in there. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Use the idea browser or just go to YouTube, get the links, add those in there. All right. So in the middle, we have the previewer. And so this is going to be showing you exactly what the planned clips has put together for us down here. So if you scroll through this, you'll be able to see exactly what has been put together for us. And so down below, you also have the ability to see exactly what was put together for us in every single clip. And so we'll be going into the planned clip section later, because this is essentially where you're always going to want to be to make your video. If the timeline is what you use in Premiere Pro or DaVinci or other video editors, the planned clips is what you use to make videos in Fractal. So here on the right, you have the inspector. So the inspector is how you control the final output. So this is going to be the total duration, or the time that your voiceover is. The minimum clip will be 1 second. Most of the time you're going to want to do the lowest you can, which is 1 second. And then the max clip is most of the time going to want to be 6. If you go to 7, you could be pushing copyright issues. But if it's non-copyrighted material, it doesn't matter. But if it's something you want to make sure you don't have any copyright issues with, you want to go to 6 or below. For very punchy videos, I like to go 1 to 4, just so videos are quick. You can turn on auto detect, but you can do it. You can test it with your audience, but I don't usually use it. And then I don't have any images, but you can also set the specific image times. And then, of course, if you're adding background music, you can make sure your background music is a certain level, and your voice is a certain level. You can add that here. And then, of course, since we use Create with AI, we have the script here. If there was no script, then you could also add that. But yeah, you can also view the script of the video that we are creating here. So in the shadow corridors, lots of dark shadow and bigger history, if you dare to visit. So now I know what kind of video I'm trying to make. And so that's it. That's all there is to the advanced editor. You have this top area that we went over. Again, we got the file with all of the things you can do inside the project, your help, name your video. We got the layout, which we can use to control everything. So if you don't know what's here, this is it. You have your sections, which you can use to control what each part of the video is doing. So around 320, we switched to different types of videos. Here you can preview and scrub whatever it is that what was planned. And then here you can also control how the plan is going to come out. So we're going to preview another plan, since I changed the min and max length. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to close the sidebar. I'm going to close the right bar, and I'm going to close the previewer so we can go over the planned clips a little bit more. And first, before we do that, I want to make sure that my videos are good over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go full screen on these, and I'm going to scrub through them and make sure this looks good for the type of video I'm making. That looks good. Yep, this one looks good. And yeah, and this is the trailer that I added in. And since this is the trailer and I know it's source material, I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to drag it. You can drag and drop these. So I press this to duplicate. I'm going to drag this into section 2. I'm going to duplicate this again, and I'm going to drag it into section 3. And this video already looks like something that I don't want, because it has a commentator, and if we have commentators, it's not really good for Faceless channels. So instead of wasting all that time editing, I'm just going to take that video out. Thank you, AI, but I don't want that. But I see that these are pretty good, so I'm going to duplicate this one as well. And I'm going to drag that there to the last section, and that's good for now, just for the example's sake. So now I think I have all my good planned clips. I'm going to press play again on this to get a new section, and I'm going to close out the left bar. So now we just have all of our planned clips, and if you want to preview these, you can just press play, and that way you can go through each one of the planned clips for the video, and you can determine exactly what type of video that you want to make. A lot of these have text in them, so I'm just going to click refresh, so those refresh, and now they don't have text in them. This is kind of how you edit in Fractal. This is how you quickly get a video made. You just go through every clip and decide if it's what you want in that section, and you're good to go. And so inside of the planned clips area, this is kind of the main view, but there are 2 different layouts, and both layouts have specific use case. So for the grid layout, it'll be very easy for you to go through and click and understand how long each clip is. You can see the clip length in seconds here, but you can also click to edit the length. The link edit to edit the link. Sorry, and so you can see the video. You can change the start and end time. You can also change whether it actually is shuffling, and then you can also change the source file if you want to change it to something else. So that's kind of the functionality here. And again, if you want to do that, you click the time, and then of course you can also drag to move these around. So it's just it's a little bit easier when you can see the clip and you're like, okay, well now we want to have that happen at a later time. And you can see things a little bit clearer in the grid view. But that's personal preference. I personally like to use the list view because it has a few different additional features like the speed and the autoplay, which helps me go through these videos a whole lot faster, especially when you have 600 clips or so, or even 800 when you're working with a long video. There's a lot of different things you're going to want to be dealing with. But if you click the list view, then we can click play, and we'll go ahead and mute that because I don't have a voiceover, so it's not muted. But if I had a voiceover added, then it would play the voiceover. Should probably add one, but for now we'll just mute that. But yeah, if you just click play, then it will play the clip, and then you'll see exactly how that particular time is going to be in your video. So this is a really good way to plan exactly how your video is going to look, what each second of the video will be. If you want something different at that time frame, like I didn't want that at that second. I don't want, well, let's see, is that part of the movie? Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's fine. So you can do that, and what I like to do is turn on autoplay and just start from the top, and it'll just go through your entire video and it will play the entire video. And to make things even faster, to find something that I don't like, I'll just turn up the speed here, and yep, I don't like that one, so I'm gonna refresh that. I'm just keeping track of where we're at. And so this is kind of how I edit now, using this editor. I'll just go through, and anything that I don't like, I'll refresh it. It'll give me something new. And yeah, and so yeah, just do that. Go through the entire video. I think I saw that before, so I'm gonna take that out. Go through the entire video, do that, and then you'll have the exact type of video that you have, and you can come back in, think about what type of video you want. Of course, go back to the grid view, and then you can edit anything specifically that you don't like. Once you're happy with what you like, what we're going to do is make sure that our save to is exactly where we want it to, and also make sure if you want a voiceover that you have your voiceover in your background music, and then just click export, and that will, again, if it's orange, it'll show you that status, and it'll start trimming that video and creating the video that we just worked on. Export is complete, it'll immediately start playing your video, so you'll know when it's done because it'll start playing. You'll hear it. But I got it muted, and here we go. This is the video, and so now you got a full video ready to go, ready to upload. If you planned it properly, it's going to be exactly what you want. You can decide whether it's random or rather it's something very, very specific and very much what you want it to be. So this tool is designed to be for anybody, whether you're working on a faceless channel or if you're working on a non-faceless channel. This tool and video editor is really aimed to rival other video editors and be for anyone, and allow for you to move quickly and make videos every single day. And that kind of ends this full tutorial. That's all I have for the entire app. It's very simple. I don't really plan to add that much more to it. I just want to make sure all of this works exactly how I just described it. Alrighty, take care.